Our suspect is a 30-something woman named Regina Smith. She checked in as a guest at the casino, nothing unusual at this point. That is, until housekeeping cleaned her room. Mrs. Smith carelessly left an array of credit cards scattered on her nightstand. Still, this may not have indicated criminal activity. With the exception, they all belonged to somebody other than Mrs. Smith. That was our suspect's first mistake. She made her second on the casino floor, not realizing our surveillance team watches the kiosks with cameras pointed directly on them. They witnessed Mrs. Smith swipe at least 24 credit cards before proceeding to the cashier's cage for cash advance. Her final mistake occurred at the cashier's cage. Mrs. Smith accessed 3 accounts for amounts totaling $3,700. Our cashier asked the suspect for 3 credit cards along with ID, noticing they all looked very similar. Too similar. As both housekeeping and our surveillance team had already alerted their individual supervisors, Mrs. Smith was escorted to our tribal gaming office where Gila River police were called to the scene. Authorities later discovered Mrs. Smith was in possession of more than 60 stolen credit cards and almost as many IDs.
Wow, great job by everyone.
So, now that we've reviewed the cases, it's time we test your skills. If you're ready, your office awaits.
Let's do it.
The dead can't speak for themselves. That's why we do this.
Let's get to work.
Luminol.
Does this purse belong to the victim or a witness?
Well, honey, lucky for you, I'm the best purse scatter pattern expert there is.
I have some DNA evidence for you to analyze.
Oh, sweet. Finally get to use my new DNA app. Just hold it up. And we have a match.
Wow. This used to take twice that time.
That was the toughest case we ever had.
I couldn't believe it took 2 hours.
Yeah, and we didn't even have to do a boat accident recreation in a swimming pool.
And you know what? We'll do it all again tomorrow. Because we're on a mission for justice.
It's a slam dunk.
As the evening wound down, Linda ordered a final round of shots for everyone.
Birthday boy, Matt.
All right, happy birthday, Matt. I'm doing this just for you.
3, 2, 1.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Another round?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
They were students from my English class. I knew most of them were on the debate team, so they probably had just gotten off of practice and decided to get something to eat. They had to have been just as surprised and uncomfortable as I was.
Hey, Linda, are you okay?
Her tweet said, "Just saw a cop in the school parking lot with the dog. Hope they don't go near my car. Hashtag just saying hi."
Scott became more concerned about Terry when one of her posts over the weekend seemed to cross the line.
It was Monday morning, and I had some time before my first class started, and so I'm looking up what people did over the weekend, and I find this photo of Terry on Instagram. It looked like she was at some kind of party. She has teachers and students who follow her. I have no idea who's seen this by now or what, if anything, I should do about it.
Every Thursday, the Liberty High School Tigers take the baseball diamond to practice. Phys ed teacher and coach Carl Lembach is a dedicated educator and a former minor league player. Even early on in the season, Coach Carl feels pretty good about this year's team.
Well, this is my second year coaching, so it's really starting to come together. We're already 3-0 this season, and those games were against some of the toughest teams in the division.
But sometimes, being a coach involves more than simply giving advice on how to field a ground ball. Coach Carl has often played mentor to Tigers star pitcher Johnny Sutton. After Thursday's practice, the coach was caught off guard.
See you, Coach. All right, guys. See you, Johnny. Hey, good job today.
See you tomorrow, boys. Hey, Coach, do you have a minute?
Sure, Johnny. What's up?
I need to ask you about something.
What's up?
You know, my girlfriend Katie?
Yeah.
Well, we just started having sex. And I really don't want to get her pregnant. And I definitely can't go to my mom and dad about this and ask them questions. So, can you help?
Aurora. Jasmine?
No.
Rapunzel.
What? There's no way I'm letting you name our daughter Rapunzel.
I like
Are
it.
you serious?
I'm gonna tell your mom and she's gonna love it and you're gonna be vetoed.
Oh, I doubt that.
Right.
Yeah, right.
What are you looking for?
I thought didn't you put the waters back here?
Yeah, it's in the food bag. Here.
Okay, careful.
When it comes to traumatic injury, obviously seconds count. When lives are at stake, you want to get EMS to the scene quickly and get the patients to the appropriate care center as soon as possible, giving them the best chance for survival, life without disability, or an improved health outcome. But not all accident scenes play out the same way. Sometimes minutes pass before a bystander calls 911. And without knowing important data about the accident, we have no way to approximate the extent of the injury.
You're gonna be fine, okay? Take care of your wife. Okay, she's 12 weeks pregnant.
I'm sitting here, I'm
Okay.
paramedic. You stay still.
Honey, I'm here, okay? You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. Can I go in?
Absolutely. Just have a seat right here at that first one.
Hey, honey.
Ultimately, a critical patient may die en route to the hospital or soon after because too much time has passed or because there was a potentially life-threatening injury that's been undetected and they haven't gotten to a trauma center in time. If we'd only known, right?
I see no more than you, but I've trained myself to notice what I see.
Reality, preserving the crime scene is paramount for the criminal investigator. Investigators create a perimeter for the investigation and take precautions to ensure that crucial evidence isn't damaged or destroyed entering the scene.
Luminol.
This purse belong to the victim or a witness?
Well, honey, lucky for you, I'm the best purse scatter pattern expert there is.
Reality. In a real investigation, the lead investigator and the team develop a theory based on witnesses or other persons of interest, so they have a data collection strategy. They establish a chain of custody for the evidence and conduct a walkthrough, take notes, make sketches, and photograph the crime scene before processing anything.
Much more civilized.
You know this is Arizona, right?
Brilliant deduction. You mentioned slot machines. This brings us to our next case, bill stuffing by the man in gray. Our suspect produces a rather large roll of bills, mostly 10s and 20s. He begins feeding the cash into the machine. He never plays, but simply pushes the cash out button to receive a Tito or a ticket in, ticket out. He then goes to another machine, repeating his actions. He thinks he's being clever, but one of our cocktail servers spots him feeding several machines, and a slot attendant later notices the same activity. Both wrote SAC reports. We traced surveillance video back earlier in the day to see if the man in gray ever actually played at all in the casino, and found he was solely there to feed bills through the machines. He too is now on our halt playlist. So as you see, maximum buy-in with minimal play can occur anywhere within the casino. It's up to all of our team members to be aware when they see something unusual or suspicious. So, see something, say something.
Hey, Lucinda, do you have a minute? I really need to talk to you about something. I know you've been here about a year, so you know hospital policy pretty well, right? What is the hospital's policy on harassment?
Are you having a problem with someone?
I really don't want to go into too much detail, but yeah, I'm having a problem.
Wow, that's a tough one. I haven't had any incidents here, but I had an issue at my last job. You've only been here a couple of weeks. Can you give me any information of what's going on?
I don't want to go into the details. I just want it to stop. But I'm afraid to say anything directly to him, and I don't know who to talk to here at the hospital. Besides, there's probably nothing I can do but just learn to live with it.
Stop right there. HR does have a good bit of information about harassment in the workplace. Here, take a look.
When a call comes into police, first responders arrive at the scene. They complete the initial assessment and investigation, then secure the crime scene by taping off the area. A lead detective, at least one crime scene investigator, and a photographer arrive on the scene depending on the size of the department. The crime team meets with the responders and witnesses outside the crime scene to map out what may have transpired. They create a hypothesis for the crime and then begin a preliminary walkthrough based on that information. Trace evidence is any evidence left behind at a crime scene. It is meticulously collected using an evidence kit including things like powder, brushes, tools, paper bags, and swabs and vials for lifting evidence and preserving it. Gun residue can be lifted from a body or from anyone who was in the house at the time. The techniques used can ensure the evidence is preserved correctly and indefinitely for further analysis.
Hey! Oh, I'm sorry, Dr. Michaels. I'm a little edgy.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, we have been here all of, 16 hours, right? Who wouldn't be? Let's see what we have.
As you can see, Mrs. Ramirez has been complaining of shortness of breath.
Yeah. All right, well, let's order a blood workup and send it for chest x-rays, okay? Why, you look tense, like someone died for a massage.
I'm fine, really.
Oh, no, come on. Doctor's orders.
The dead can't speak for themselves. That's why we do this.
Let's get to work.
Reality. Crime scene investigators work on many types of investigations. PIs are often called in to evaluate the criminal evidence for civil liability, for the defense, and for risk management purposes.
Last week I had to let someone go. It was really tough. I don't get it. The individual seemed to have great references and great experience. He seemed like he would be hardworking, motivated, and a team player. He wasn't.
Unfortunately, Beth, you're not alone. Sometimes we see a candidate that looks great on paper, but when we bring them through the interview process, we don't ask the right questions and ultimately fail to determine if someone's truly a good fit.
Fail to determine a good fit? What do you mean? They have the skills and credentials to do the job.
Well, being a good fit is about more than just skills. Let's talk about this. Do you have some time?
If it can help me with my new hires, you bet.
Great. Pull up a chair.
You have been selected to participate in a highly critical project that involves our core business system. You were chosen specifically because of what you have to offer this extremely fast-paced project. This will be your full-time assignment for the next 3 months. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, will be described in full at a special meeting in the 47th floor boardroom at 4 p.m. today. This mission is to be kept strictly confidential until you receive further information. I hope to see you at 4 p.m. This message will self-delete in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.